Hey everybody, my name is Oxonic and today we're going to be doing a video just kind of kickstarting my content creation journey. I'm going to go over a couple different things such as what exactly it looks like to be a content creator, a couple of my role models, just kind of go over some general information with being a content creator. What I'm doing is I'm kicking off a journey that's all about content creation and kind of trying to make this thing a reality for me. I am currently a full-time college student, have a lot going on in life, but what I'm going to do is prep for full-time content creation after I get out of school. Over the next few weeks and months, I'll be sharing every step of the process, from the actual content creation itself, brainstorming, editing videos, coming up with ideas, everything like that, and just kind of meshing it all together in a way that's easy to accept and understand as somebody who may not know anything about content creation. I'll be doing everything from setting up my workspace, brainstorming ideas, my gear, everything that I might use for content creation, as well as just kind of a general schedule and everything that I have going on with both as a student and as a content creator. Trying to pursue that full-time aspect of content creation is the hardest part for me right now. I am currently a full-time college student and work a part-time job. So kind of building that schedule is going to be one of the first steps. But today we're going to start with something that is a little bit more, I guess we'll say, preparatory for that. Every creator starts somewhere. For me, it was in COVID 2020. I started live streaming and trying to put out social media content the best I could at the time. Over time, it's kind of evolved to be something a little different for me now. Now it's mostly just streaming, and I'm trying to get a little bit more diligent and disciplined about putting out content, which is what this series is going to reflect. So today we're going to be doing episode 1, which is going to be my inspiration and my creative inspiration as far as what content creators do I want to model my content after, what do I like about their content, what do I think could improve about it, and just kind of picking the positives and negatives of each different content creator and meshing it together to build my own brand, thought process, just kind of give an entire inspiration of exactly what I think about as a content creator. Today, I'll share what my initial game plan looks like for content creation and kind of why I'm diving into it. My initial thoughts are immediately, as of right now, I currently stream between anywhere from 4 to 7 hours, I'd say probably 4 to 5 days a week. I right now make a bunch of content with that stream actually happening, but putting that into an actual video and making something that can actually be something that helps me grow is where I'm lacking. My initial plan right now would be to lessen the amount of streams that I'm doing, put out more full-time content, kind of build my repertoire as far as what I have in the background, how much content I have, the series I have going for me, that kind of thing, and just kind of go from there. How's it going, guys? Now I got you over here on my PC. So like I mentioned a second ago, what we're gonna go ahead and get going into is we're gonna look at each of those content creators that I mentioned, that I kind of want to use them as sort of a role model for my own content creation journey. So the first creator that we're gonna look at, his name is Scampi. Overall, super fun content creator. Kind of more so focuses on the side of like memes, funny content, silly, goofy, just kind of very unserious compared to how some people take it, which we'll look at as we go into the videos. First one, we're just going to watch one of his pinned clips just to kind of give everybody who's watching a little bit of an idea of what his content's like. So let's get into it.
Enemy spotted. Kill him.
Open the door.
Hello, bozo.
Fuck! 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 Oh! Another one.
He's just standing there.
Oh, look, he's fine. Say hello to my little friend.
As you can see with Scampi's content, it's definitely more so on the silly side. I wrote down a couple different benefits and like pluses and minuses, I'll say, of this content style, which is what we're going to go and get into. So as noted, we watched one of his videos and kind of got some aspect into what exactly his content looks like, how it can kind of compare to other creators, which we'll get into later. A couple notes of what I took. For me personally, his content is one of my favorite types of content to watch as far as the game I play the most, which is Fortnite. Super funny, super interactive, allows for funny jokes, you know, stuff you can see, stuff you can enjoy, but it also brings a little bit of modern memes, modern fun into the content by inserting different clips from movies, songs, musicians that may be popular, stuff like that. So it's very good for, I'd say, the younger generation. Some of the pros that I have listed here, it's attractive for all ages. I'd say that some of the both younger references, like let's see, what were some of the ones, some of the memes, some of the vines and stuff, that may be more so for a younger generation, while you have little references like Ed, and Eddie, which, you know, is definitely something that only the older generation would understand. Scampi does a great job overall highlighting each of those aspects and kind of putting it all into a video that all types of people can enjoy. Another pro is videos, because they are purely entertainment and a lot of fun, it brings in a lot of engagement. People will follow, people will like the video, people will hop in and say what's up every single video because they want to see his content, because it brings a lot more attractive features to it than some others may. Another one is thumbnails. His thumbnails are insane. Just looking at this, if you were to not watch any of the videos, I'll give you all a little aspect of it. If you were to not watch any of his videos at all and you just look at these thumbnails, like, they're so silly goofy, you're gonna want to watch all of them. Like, for me, the Thanos one sticks out. You have Voldemort, you have iRobot, like, just, or iRobot, oh, I hope that's the right reference. Anyways, bunch of silly goofy things. Kamala Harris in one of his videos. So that's another thing that I think he's very strong at, is his thumbnails. His thumbnails are honestly the clickbait to watch the video, and then the video brings that clickbait to life by putting it into a fun, entertaining piece of content. So some of the cons for me, these are, again, this whole video is going to be all my personal opinions and kind of just how I look at it from my perspective as a content creator. Some of the cons for his content, I say that it may bring more of a younger audience to the content, because it is more so, for lack of a better term, I'll say brain rot compared to, you know, professional or just fun. It's more so on the brain rot meme side of things, which could be negative. Bringing in a younger audience can mean less monetary benefits, such as making some money from sales or subs or whatever it is that the content creator may push. Another con, I think that editing for him probably is the thing that takes the longest with his content. He spends the entire time, I guarantee, for each of those videos at least an hour, which is very extensive for any content, let alone for his, which has a ton of edits, a ton of animations, a ton of GIFs he has to gather, stuff like that. And one of the last things is, I would say, relevancy. Having to look at his videos and making sure that the memes and the funny things that he puts in it are actually modern, and not only, like, not outdated as the kids would say, but they're also very up to date, fun, bring a lot of interaction and engagement from anybody, especially. And also, the other thing that I put down is, some people may take his content as kind of unserious or unprofessional because it is really goofy, really silly. They may kind of view him more so as a, I'd say probably as an entertainer over a content creator. So those are all the negatives that I think his content has. But overall, like I mentioned, Scampi is one of my favorite people to watch as far as content goes. It's really fun. If you look at my channel, it's kind of modeled after it a little bit as far as how I try to put some memes and funny stuff in my videos. And his videos are really good at making you laugh, keeping you engaged, and bringing content that may otherwise not be seen because it's its own unique aspect. So let's go ahead and get into the next person. I'm back, guys. So the next content creator that we're going to look into is Lubster. Many of you guys may have heard of him. He's actually one of the first content creators I ever watched personally on TikTok as a Fortnite player. Love his videos, super good. Let's go ahead and get into it. I'll give you guys an example. So as you can see, Lubster's content immediately off rip looks way different than Scampi's. Very more so, I'll say, on the professional side as far as how he has it lined out, how everybody can see it and perceive it. He uses very attractive thumbnails, kind of clickbaity, showing Very good like subtitles and overlays on his streams, as well as a very clear and concise camera, which is one of my favorite things about it. We'll go ahead and watch one of his videos real quick.
Oh my god. Where is he? It is. Hold it. That's how that bring it. Well, I'm cheating. I logged on. Oh, I died. But like that
So overall, as you can see from his video, it's very much so on the professional side over silly goofy, which is why it attracted me so much as a content creator myself to watch his video. I'm very much somebody who considers myself on the higher spectrum as far as skill level in the game I play. Definitely not to his level. He's crazy. Shout out to him. But as I said, his content definitely appeals more so to the older age bracket, people who may want to watch his videos to either learn how to be better at the game or to just be entertained because he's good at what he does. So just to give some of the pros, list some of the pros, his audience consists more of esports enjoyers, those who tend to migrate to really good players and winners. Because he's an extremely good player, he plays competitive, he grinds crown wins, he does all these things that put him in the, we'll say, top 1% as far as skill goes for players. So he brings in a lot of those older players as well as people who love to watch the game, love to watch people that are good at it, and overall it's just a good, healthy audience. Another one of his pros, he succeeds a lot more in sponsorships because he can be considered, I'd say, a semi-pro at the game because he does do competitive and stuff like that. People who watch his content will take his word a lot more by what he says. So if he recommends a product, if he recommends a software, if he recommends something like that, it's always going to bring in a lot more information and a lot more attractiveness for anyone who may be watching his video, because they want to be like him. They want to be a good player. They want to be better at the game. So he definitely does a lot better as far as sponsorships because he is seen as more of a semi-pro and really good gamer. Some of the cons for me, I think that longevity of his content is probably one of the more difficult things, because his content is kind of rinse and repeat, I would say, because he doesn't really do anything that's different or starkly changing amongst his content. Usually it's just the same clips, like him destroying people, him doing really well in a game, him, you know, stuff like that. It can get kind of rinse and repeat or monotonous. I wouldn't look at it as that personally, but I can see how somebody else, especially somebody who may not be as good at the game or understand the game, how that can look for them. Another thing that I would risk, or I would say is a risk, is burnout for him. I feel like that it would get really tiring just having to constantly do really well at the game, which again, that could be different for him. He may love it. I don't know. I just know that burnout is a big risk for content creators. So that's another negative that I look at as far as his content goes. And the last thing I would say, because his videos are very high end as far as how his skill level is, I would say he's at risk of not reaching all the audiences that he could. If he were to have a video that kind of impacts the younger audience a bit more rather than just the pro players or esports people who are watching him, I think that he would be able to tap into that younger audience a lot more and bring in a lot more viewers and followers for him. So that's another thing I think is a risk. But overall, Lubster has great content. He has great reach. He's really good at what he does. He's very good at making it entertaining, but also keeping that high skill level in his content. And I think that his style and approach are very good, but I think potentially could limit him in the future if his content kind of hits a standstill. I think there is a delicate balance between being good at a game and being entertaining, and he is fun to watch, but I think that he's more so on the good of the game side, if that makes sense. So we'll go ahead and get into the next one. So the next thing that we're going to get into is a creator named Redvines, super big Fortnite creator. Right now he has almost 3 million followers on TikTok, which is very high up there, especially for a gaming content creator. We're going to go and get into a couple of his videos and just kind of analyze and get some aspect into what exactly it is he does. So just off rip, like immediately, I can see that very much, I'd say most of his content is very clickbaity. He likes to use the status of being an OG player as kind of a way to bring viewers in, which is very smart, and it's definitely a very good way to go about it, because a lot of people in the game of Fortnite love to see an OG player. It's just something that they love to watch. He also has a lot of super attractive thumbnails, I would say. Very clickbaity, having $5,000 there, a couple different purple skull clips, weird things like a giant Peter for some reason, like just stuff that's really good at bringing in an audience. But yeah, let's go and get into one of his videos and take a look.
There's new bosses on the map, but on this floating island, there's a stronger fire version that drops a medallion that turns you invisible, and a mask that shoots fireballs. Fortnite added a new rolling animation, but does it stop fall damage? What about sprinting with the new sword? Using the new sword, you can glitch yourself stuck looking like Acoustic Jesus. There's these little blue jelly guys that when you throw them down, they squirt all over you and heal you. There's also a wind version that lets you fly. You can also put these in these little shrines, which give you really good loot. Apparently you can wall ride like you're Jackie Chan. There's a demon boss that's pretty hard to kill, but she drops a mythic mask that lets you throw ender pearls from Minecraft. There's new bosses on the map, but on this float.
So as you can see, most of Redvine's content is very much so on the clickbaity side of things. It's very much a more of a bringing in definitely those younger viewers who not only want to learn about Fortnite, but also want to learn about the information in the game, such as how they can be better, how items work, stuff like that. Very much geared towards the younger audience for sure. Some of the things that I listed for his pros are doing more informative content, because he does go over things like what he was in that video specifically, how new items work, what the new items may look like, cosmetics, stuff like that. It can be very, very attractive for people who play the game or are new to it to want to watch his videos to learn about it and be better at it. So I definitely think that's a huge pro for him. I also think that doing this sort of content can bring in a huge range of audiences, both past players, current players, and people who haven't played yet that may start to try and pursue that. Definitely a great pro for him. He also doesn't have near as much sponsored content as some of these other creators have, which I personally appreciate. I think that it's really good to have a genuine content that you put out that doesn't so much make people feel like they have to pay to see the real you, if that makes sense. Obviously, I'm not saying any of these creators that do sponsored content are doing it for that reason, but for me personally, as a content creator, I wouldn't want to make all my content sponsored at all. One of the next pros that I would say, it definitely makes his content feel genuine and realistic because he doesn't have any of that sponsored content. I feel like it makes it a lot more attractive for anybody to see his content for the first time and be like, oh, this guy's being for real. They're not just, you know, money hungry or reaching for that kind of thing. So a couple of the cons for his content that I have, I would say his content may not be as fun or attractive because it's not so much visually engaging. A good example of that would be Scampi. Having so much going on in his videos at all times is a constant, like, it re-hones the person watching the content back into the video every time something happens. For his, because it's just little clips of gameplay, him doing something with an item or testing something out, and that's it. There's no nice visuals. There's no, I'd say most of his videos also don't have a face cam, which is something I noted. Having a face to put to a voice is a lot more attractive for anybody watching content because they see that it's a real person. I think that if he were to put on his face cam and have like attractive decor in the background, not like what I have, mine's not very great because it was all free or very cheap for me, but just some basic and generic decor I think would really take his content level to the next step. But anyways, overall, I feel that Redvines has pretty good balance of content. He has a nice entertainment aspect, including some fun, silly things, making some jokes in his videos, that kind of thing. But he also puts in information and mushes it all together into one form of content, which I think looks really great and makes it very fun to watch his videos. I also think that if he were to bring some more visual engagement into his videos, it would be a lot more attractive for anyone watching because they would be able to stay engaged. And in a world of scrollers and people with ADHD, keeping that lock in is the hardest thing I think for content. So now we're going to go into one of my favorite creators. His name is Silent, Zen Silent as of right now, and I'm going to kind of analyze some of his content. So let's go ahead and get into one of his videos. All right, so we are here on Silent's channel right now. His username is Devour Silent on TikTok if you want to go check him out. Let's go and watch one of his videos and get it checked out.
So there's an annoying issue with Fortnite happening right now where you'll build a wall but still get shot through it because of the desync on the servers. But I think I found a solution. I went to Google, typed in lagofast.com, downloaded the free trial, clicked PC, clicked Fortnite, clicked the closest server near me, meaning less chance to desync, and just like that it should help with the server issues, which allowed me to dominate this rank game. But if your PC also has bad frame drops, LagoFast also allows for you to boost your frames to have consistent high frames, creating a smooth gaming experience.
Well, that was a really unfortunate video for me to pick because that for me is the biggest con about Silent. I love his content. I actually think that his content minus the lack of the face cam is probably what I want to pursue as a content creator. Having really nice subtitles, clean edits, clean videos, very simple, but it's very effective. People love watching it. So let's go ahead and get into what exactly I think as far as pros and cons of his videos and talk about it a little bit. So as I mentioned, he's definitely one of my overall favorite content creators. I know I said that about Scampi. They're two different worlds, which is why I love both of them. As far as modeling my content after, he's definitely somebody that I see myself more pursuing, is that clean subtitle with content and then just putting the video out. It's that easy. He has a happy balance of entertainment, fun, and information because he does do the informational videos kind of like Redvines. And also a little tip or trick I would say that he manages to do that's really good is he squeezes a self promo in every video. The one that I know is like guaranteed almost is at the end of every video that I've seen of his, he says use code blank, you know, every single time. He just sneaks it in there at the end. It makes the viewer watching just subconsciously think about it. Definitely a great thing to do as a content creator is just sneak that in there. So as I said, some of the pros for his videos, his content's very attractive, very simplistic, very much easy to pay attention to. He also has a nice voice for his voiceovers, so it sounds really professional, really clean, really short and easy. He also showcases his skills. He's not a bad player. He's, I'd say, probably between Lubster and Scampi as far as skill level. He's not like semi-pro, but he's definitely a great player. And he also does a great job not sounding too scripted. He just voiceovers and it sounds really genuine and really professional. He also uses simple editing so he can put out videos really quick, which is a big pro, not having to sit and take a long time like Scampi may have to put an edit out for a video. And he also keeps viewers engaged without overwhelming them, which is a huge thing because a video like Scampi's may overwhelm an average viewer, while his video may not have any issues with anybody. Some of the cons of his video, it's the same thing as Redvines. He doesn't show his face very much, which to me, I think that's a huge way that an audience can connect to you as a streamer, is having your face in the video. He also, as I showed, unfortunately, in that video, has really sponsored content. He's switched a lot more from just entertainment to sponsored content, which, as I said, there's no hate from me on that. That's a very good strategy, especially for making money. But for me, I personally think that pursuing a lot more sponsored content versus genuine and real just interactions and fun videos isn't as great and as effective as far as keeping and building a new follower. He very much focuses now on sales and sponsored content, which is something, again, in that video he was sponsoring a VPN service or some kind of internet booster. And if you look at his only 3 pinned videos are all for sponsored content, for a headphone set, some keyboards, and then of course that internet VPN thing that he was showing too. To me, that screams money hungry, like grabber, which again, I don't have an issue with it. If it's his content, if it works for him, you know, let him do it. But for me, I think that screams really money hungry, which may push away viewers who are there purely for information or like entertainment. So I'd say that's definitely a con. He also, I've noticed, has done something which unfortunately in how all the algorithms work is really bad in modern content creation and streaming. Switching your niche like that is a really bad idea, because what happens is he built his following on Fortnite, and then if you look at some of his more recent videos, he switched over from Fortnite to Pokemon, which can be kind of risky for him. Of course, he's doing really well, he's putting out the content and switching it up still, but for me personally, I think that could be a con, obviously depending on what his analytics look like. But from my end, switching up like that, it's never a good thing, especially if you built your audience on that game. You don't want to ever switch off from it or do some crazy immediate switch like that. So yeah, another thing that I would say, it could be detrimental for that to happen. People could unfollow, he could fall off the algorithm because people don't interact as much, that kind of thing. So that's the other reason why I personally wouldn't want to do a huge switch like that. Overall though, Silent has one of the best content balances of anybody, minus the sponsored content that he's started to push a lot more recently. I think that his content is honestly exactly what I would go for. Just voiceover, subtitles, video, face cam. Like, that's all I think that is necessary. He has the content ability of Redvines and the professionalism and skill of Lubster, kind of the 2 people we went over. He kind of puts content and entertainment like Redvines does, meshes that with the skill that Lubster has, and kind of makes it like one product, which I think is really great. And I also think that another thing that if he did to improve his content, if he bumped up his thumbnails, like if he made his content look a lot more attention grabbing instead of just a picture with like some words on it, I think that he could blow up and do a lot better. So as far as everything goes, that's where I think we're at for today. So yeah, guys, as mentioned in today's video, we went over a couple different aspects of content creators, what exactly they do, how I think I can model my content after, and this will be day 1 of the series of becoming a full-time content creator. I'll catch y'all next time. Make sure to like and subscribe. See you later.